Good afternoon and welcome to Market View. It's 2 p.m. Hope you had a lovely weekend. My name is Lungelele Makakula. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. The Manzini Regional Office is on a mission to make a website for businesses in the region in order to help small and medium enterprises gain more exposure and support. Our journalist Nell Siwe interviewed the Regional Administrator, Chief Gicha, on this development. She will join us later on the program for this discussion. And on our business news today, the Eswatini Tourism Authority had a consultation workshop with community-based businesses, and the ETA CEO Vusi Dlamini says collaboration with different stakeholders will play a major role in ensuring that tourism continues to contribute immensely to the country's economy. And in our market analysis, the South African rand was strong on early trade on Monday at around 7 a.m. GMT. The rand traded at 18 rand. What made the rand stronger? Sanel Sbia will answer this question and give us today's analysis. So do stay with us. For now, let's go for business news. Collaboration with different stakeholders will play a major role in ensuring that tourism continues to contribute immensely to the country's economy. These were the words of Eswatini Tourism Authority's Chief Executive Officer Vusi Dlamini when explaining how the authority will play a role in ensuring that tourism continues to be a major contributor to the economy.
We are aware that we as a country have got a tourism strategy that is still underway up to 2027. The strategy have set some specific targets, and one of the key things that we would want to see is, as a country, we would want to see 2 million people coming into the country, especially by 2027, and also contributing some 2 billion to the revenue. So what is very important is that for us to be able particularly to get to the 2 billion, we need to ensure that people that are coming into the country are spending a little bit more time than what they traditionally spend. At the moment, we are seeing our tourists spending about two nights every time they come here on average. For us to be able to make more money as a country from the tourism, from the tourists, we need to ensure that that number increases, and I think the target is to push it to about 5 nights, so that then we understand that if people spend more nights in the country, they will eventually spend more money. But people don't just come to the country to visit specific places. They come to the country because they are visiting the country. So that means then all our different projects or initiatives and hotels, we all need to get to work together for us to be able to ensure that people are coming to the country and spending a little bit more time than what they currently spend. It's very important for us to appreciate when we do work that we do as a country, we do them as a collective. Tourism is not a tourism authority's thing. It is not the tourism ministry's responsibility. There's issues of visas, there's issues of roads, there's issues of the hotels that we have in the country. There's projects that are based in the different communities. So for me, I think when I was first asked about this job, I said the most important thing is for us to collaborate. We cannot be able to do the work that we do if we do not work together as different ministries, as different stakeholders. So it is very important that all key stakeholders play their roles, and one of the key things that we want to ensure as the tourism authorities, to ensure that we engage all those different stakeholders to play their different roles, so that the tourist at the end of the day will have the experience that they expect in the country.
Poor road infrastructure hinders access to community tourism businesses. These sentiments were shared by managers of different community tourist attraction businesses from around the country during a training by Eswatini Tourism Authority on how this industry can be professionalized in order to make more profits and grow the economy. The meeting was held at Sibane Sami at Zuluni.
We've got projects that involve hiking, projects that involve accommodation with them, projects that are centered within conservation areas. As you would understand that one of the key issues is conservation always relies on tourism. So in most areas where you've got conservation, where you have conservation, you definitely have tourism, what you call activities happening in those kind of areas. So you would probably appreciate that we have communities such as Chilobi, down from Lubombo, Sheula, up as far as Ngwempisi hiking trails, Mahamba Gorge. They are part of this workshop to try and look at the business models, try and improve on their product offering.
The National Operations Manager at the International Trade Center says they were supported by the European Union to assist the Eswatini Tourism Authority on this project.
So we started with 4 online trainings for MSMEs in the industry, all the way from creating of a website as well as understanding the analytics side, so you know who visits a website, from which country, why. And then now we are trying to work with the community-based tourism projects to help them increase their products offering, so that they can then be able to attract more customers, and maybe we could have more tourists staying longer in the country. Over and above that, we'll be working with tour operators now that normally bring the tourists, so making them aware of the new products that these community-based projects have come up with, so that they can include them in their product offering, and hopefully there could be that synergy where we have more tourists coming into the community-based tourism project.
Different community industry players feel poor road infrastructure is a major letdown to their businesses. They appeal for assistance from government, saying tourists have difficulty reaching their businesses, and this defeats the whole purpose of them operating.
Imigwaqo iyasilimata abese ama-tourist akasakhona uku-accessa le kulawo mabhizinisi ethu. Siyathi sonke ukuthi mina-ke ngihlala eBhoda eminyango welive ayangena emabhansi ngebuningi bawo, but-ke nakumele ayongena ayofinyelela kufika ku-drop-off system lapho khona sakhiwo sethu sikhona khona kuba inkinga.
Siyayithenga kakhulu isupport yahulumende. Ndobekisa nje thina sile emakhaya, tivakashi tiyakujabulela kuya emakhaya ngoba iroli yethu siyimimango. Mhlambe sithuthukisa tekuvakasha emakhaya ngokuthi sikhanga tivakashi letifuna kutobona the real life yeMaswati, because there is nowhere else la tingayithola khona.
The Eswatini Tourism Authority says all stakeholders will be consulted in order to ensure that all these businesses in the communities are a success. For Market View, Melswen Langamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Ezulwini.
7 minutes after 2, let's go for an ad break. Sabuya khona manje.
Ujala masada mahle kunathi lesa.
Sabatandi ukuthi njengalokho
Sivile sive sitikhulumeni.
Welcome back. You're watching Market View. The Manzini Regional Office is on a mission to make a website for businesses in the region in order to help small and medium enterprises gain more exposure and support. The regional administrator, Chief Gija, said they also ensure to market the Manzini Day, where different businesses come to showcase their wares and products.
Every year around July, the Manzini Regional Administrator's Office with the Manzini Municipal Council holds the Manzini Day, where different small and medium enterprises, even from remote areas, showcase their products, selling to different individuals at Somhlolo Park. Despite this effort to promote the businesses in the region, the regional administrator says the low turnout every year is very worrying.
Manzini Day lapho sivula i-trade, sivula imarket yebantu bakaManzini labasuka leti inkundleni kungaba ma handcraft laba wakhako bogogo labakhubatekile nebantwana labangase employed abathomse but ke sithi abakhombise lithanda labo sibangenda ini ngoba lelithanda labanalo ngilo kumethi baphile ngalo uNkulunkulu baphele talent labanye bakwati kuluka amagcebesha labanye bakwati kuluka amacansi baluka ithebe emishanyelo labanye bakwati kunitha labanye bakwati kwenta ileather benza tikhwama yini labanye bakwati kwenta khona labanye labakha neprima stove kwakho amaswati mane kwatiwa ngibani ukuthi lokwatiko kuhletile ekhaya ngawubekisa ukuthi mhlambe kuhletile nkamanzi lola edrobheni ngento kubuya kufuna uthi akuthola kuphi Manzini Day is bringing konke lezinto etinato la dvuta idrobhe ngizothi nabasomabhizinisi labanetitolo babona ukuthi hayi ngingasosa nako from le ngilokufaka emarket la kutheke lo muntu uyaqala uyaphila ngakho lo Manzini Day nyalo ukhula to a level ukuthi sifuna abe ne website kuzothi lo lokwentiwa la kubonwe nangilo ngaphandle lelive kubona nangilo sedorobheni embabani nangifuna indlobo ngatithola kugogobani lo semphakathini lo ngikuphi so yaqala leti inkundla ya trader nebantu ba trader from within lelive na outside lelive labakwentako sebakubona nalabangaphandle Manzini Day is all about lokho nako sisi ukuthi sivule le trade inkosi shit akusenjetwe live lonke mesisume lisebenze umnotho utawuphakama ngaleyo ndlela.
The regional administrator says the website will ensure that all SMEs are known and supported. For Market View, Nelson Dlangamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Manzini.
Yeah, Benguelo Regional Administrator Chief Gija khuluma nge-potential website labasalungiselela ukuthi bayakhe sifundzeni sakamanzini. I'm now joined by our business journalist Nelsiwe Dlangamandla to have a further discussion on this development. Neli ngiyathanza amagama Chief Gija ukuthi kumele kusentshethe kosomabhizinisi imisebenzi yabo kumele ukuthi ibe out there ngisho nalo ngekho lapha eveni akhona kuyibona, but kuva nje lokusivela how important is having this website, what gaps will it close kubosomabhizinisi labancane?
Ngiyabonga kakhulu Lulu, ngivusele nembukele ekhaya lenguvile nangikhulumisana neManzini Municipal Council ukuthi nanoma liba khona lelanga kaManzini ngelanga uyukhanze ukuthi plus minus 120,000 people visit Manzini, kepha ke belithina likhona lelanga emini ukhanze ukuthi bantu abedi, so ukhanze ukuthi sekude kahle le support, hence regional administrator athi sebabuka le ndlela lena yekuthi kumbe nabangenda le website kwekuthi naba bosomabhizinisi labakhona kaManzini sathi kahle ukuthi tinhlangano tetimali emhlabeni tiyachaza ukuthi if imali la eveni isebenda kakhulu sithengiselana kwathine ngaphandle kwekuthi export kuphela nako lokho kuyawuthuthukisa umnotho, so bathi bafisa lokuthi labo somabhizinisi nabo babonakale kakhulu.
Yeah, kumena sibuye nje mhlambe kule website nile. I know that most of us mhlambe la mhlabeni Eswatini we are not tech savvy, we're not familiar with technology, and labanye batawuvanga zothi abaseko comfortable with having their businesses being advertised on a website, bafuna available na kuyibona ba-advertise ngiyabekisa ephepheni. Ingabe bathi batayithini lena kutaba khona mhlambe ma meetings ma trainings labo khona sive sitawukhona kuqeqeshwa kwabantu ngayo le website?
Liqiniso ukuthi we are moving to into the digital world. Donke timfo letiningi kakhulu siyathi ukuthi la eveni bantu labaningi sebamfula basha. We have youth le over 790,000 vele la labatawufisa kuthenga nyalo kakhulu bamfula basha, and they are techno savvy, so kufanele vele kwekuthi kutholwe indlela, which is why the regional administrator is saying as we are pursuing this initiative we want to make sure we don't leave any gaps behind. We want to make sure ukuthi we have people labatawuba khona baqinisekise ukuthi labo make lemakhaya, because ngilama small and medium enterprises labamfula basha labanala mabhizinisi bona labamfula basha kuba ngibo labasita labamfula badzala ukuthi bakhone loku advertise letinfo tabo and monitor le website. Remember Lulu ukuthi you can't just create a website and bese uyahlala and expect things to move. move. You have to monitor even the traffic ukuthi engabe ngikuphi lapho khona ngathi lama buyers ami noma ke lama consumers ami aya ngakhona, so that utokwati ukuthi kahle kahle sive lesiningi sifunani. These are some of the things that the regional administrator is saying. We are working towards having that because we have seen ukuthi despite having more people in Manzini during the daytime coming to Manzini every day, 120,000 people, but we are not really getting the support that we need. So business in for vele, you have to strategize all the time. So this is their way of saying ascending indlela lehlukile.
Yeah, ngalokutini Lisa ukuthi the business sector is one of the crucial sectors lapha eSwatini ukuzama nje ukuthuthukisa live nokuthi vele kube khona lokwendeka kwemnothweni. Yini inkampani ya Apple leyikwendako ukuzama ukukhangisa imisebenzi yabosomabhizinisi labancane online?
Ngesikhathi semkhuhlane i-COVID-19 i-APA yasukumisa i-buyeswatini.com lapho khona lamuhla nangithi ngiyayivakashela nje le website leyo ngikhanze ukuthi kuna about 400 wabosomabhizinisi and listings. So uyabona lokuthi nabo bebayizama lendlela yekuthi asekube nendlela vele kube ne website where we'll go digital. Now ufuna ngingenile lapha ngabuka kukhona bo tourism, kukhona ma handicrafts, there is everything. Kukuwe ukuthi ufuna ini. But the problem is I've consulted APA on this website, but Guanyalo, they are currently not registering businesses under the website because they are revamping it. So but ngilenye yetindlela lena APA ibuyeswatini.com lapho khona akhangisa ngaleti impahla dabosoma business to encourage le internal trade kwekuthi nalo senhlangano akati phela ukuthi kamanzini naku lengakuthola nalo selbonjeni ati ukuthi woka lavumisa kunana ibusiness nayo.
Yeah, so nasibuka nje nelikhona invelele potential kubuka ukuthi Manzini is one of the biggest regions la eSwatini. Uyayibona yini ba sustainable ibasita abosomabhizinisi ukuthi imisebenzi yabo ikhanyiseke kahle?
Itawusebenta if the effort is being put into these businesses, into this website, and we know ukuthi isikhathi lesiningi tinfo tidzingayo wona ema resources. If batawukhona ukuthi mhlawumbe lawo ma website developers bawatfole and imonitheke kahle le website, kukhona nalokuthi kukhangiswe le mikhicito yale sive ngalendlela mhlawumbe lesifise ngayo le sive ukuthi kukhangiswe ngaso. And if they are able to reach tonke tinhlangothi damanzini, lokumcoka kakhulu is the administration. Uma ngabe kungatholakala lokuthi isupporteke kahle, I feel that it is a good move now mawukhulumisana nawo ema economists ukuthi okay, it is a good move as long as itawukhonakala ukuthi imanageke ngalendlela mhlawumbe letawenda ukuthi lama business vele ahambe, because bamfula abanengi sebayakhona ukuthi bangene online, but ke vele kufanele ukuthi imaketheke kahle yatiwe nanayo.
Yeah, as I highlighted ukuthi vele i-business sector is critical lapha eveni. Usichazele ukuthi APA wendane kuzama kubeka abosomabhizinisi out there. The Minister of Commerce nayo ngilenye inangi ilitiko lelihambisa imbili indaba yabosomabhizinisi lendani lona kuzama kukhangisa imikhicito yabosomabhizinisi online.
Litiko laka commerce lelikwendako line trade information portal lapho khona uyakhona kufike ubuke ukuthi engabe nginga-importa ini, nginga-importa ini, mina ngi-exporte ini, kuze ukuthi ngidokhona kwenda ibhizinisi. Kunema-guidelines ekwenda ibhizinisi lapho na ungisomabhizinisi uyangena kule trade information portal. Lokunye i-NAMBOD unayo i-horticulture information system, nalapho it's a system lapho khona bosomabhizinisi ikakhulu labeti bidvo baya-encouragewa nabo ukuthi nangabe nje uyadilima leti bidvo, go there and register. Lapho ke nguwo wonke umuntu lolana eveni, go there and register so that atawukwati na NAMBOD kuthi wo nangabe ngifuna i-butternut ngitawuhamba ngeshiselweni, nangabe ngifuna mhlawumbe lawo ma baby marrows ngidawuhamba mhlawumbe ngiyelibonjeni. These are some of the different initiatives that government is doing in order to try and support local businesses and ensure that we trade internally.
Yeah, kokugcina nje less than a minute. Ingabe nosaxoxisana naye Chief Gicha le website kuyinfo mhlawumbe lesingayibona isukuma this year yini makusathatha sasikhathi kusaplanwa kahle.
Nasixoxisana naye regional administrator ushido ukuthi lona ngumsebenzi lengeke baze bawujake, but because this is something they realized last year, we need to revamp, we need to do things differently. They are talking in talks with different stakeholders. They are in talks with Bosoma business. Like I said before, website it's not just something long avele uyende. You have to monitor, you have to get the business people, you have to make sure le brand awareness vele iyendeka. So uthi akusiyo info labangathi they can wake up tomorrow and say we have the website. They have to do a lot of planning as basabuka ukuthi bosoma business kamanzini bangathuthukiswa kanjani.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much, Nelly. We'll also develop on the pipeline more projects. Asesifundeni sakamanzini website yabosoma business ilabancane. Let's take a break. Sabuya khona manje.
Renewal of TV licenses for 2024 is now open. Here is a quick reminder. A viewer's TV license costs 180 emalangeni per device. Other accessories such as decoders and set-top box cost 50 emalangeni per device. For traders and repairers, TV license costs 300 emalangeni per business area. And now, to pay your TV license, use these following methods. You can use MTN Mobile Money with the number 76222000 or dial *007 *3 *7#. Or you can use Eswatini Imali. You can pay our TV license at any post office in the country. Another option is you can use any NetBank branch using our TV license account number 119900430037. Don't forget, when paying for your viewer's TV license, reference with your PIN at all times. And when paying for a retailer TV license, reference with your TIN at all times. For more information, call us on 7802-4543 or 34050163 or 34020879. And you can send us a WhatsApp message on 762222000.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Lesikhathi sidabuka ukuthi ngabe imakethe iperforma kanjani lomhla kungumsombuluko lekuvela nje ukuthi the South African rand was stronger in early trade lomuhla ekseni around 7 a.m. It was trading at 18 rands against the dollar, about 0.3% stronger than its previous close. Ngabe lokhu kubangelwe yini? Mr. Sibiya utasipemvulela sinethe analysis ukuthi imakethe iperforma kanjani. Mr. Sibiya, very warm welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. Li rand lomuhla beli trader 18 rand against the dollar. Lokukhomba kona ukuthi linyukile ngabe vele mhlambe yini lena lebange lokho.
Hello, thank you for having me this afternoon. So we are seeing the dollar gaining stronger, becoming stronger against major currencies. So what we are looking at there is the major contributor to the movements and the shifts that we are seeing is your purchasing managers index actually has improved and it's performing much better in the current. So we've seen it gaining a bit of some points, which means producers are really operating at a very high level, and they're a bit optimistic about the market. And then we can also attribute to what we are seeing in terms of load shedding. South Africa has not had load shedding over quite a while now, and we did expect this to actually rally the markets. So it's not just the currency that's performing better. We are also seeing the Johannesburg Stock Exchange responding positively to the news of load shedding not being persistent, and we're also seeing the markets responding positively to the news coming out of the US. We've seen better jobs numbers coming out of the US. So that means we're not really expecting, we're still expecting rates to be cut this year. It's a timing of when, and we've seen the European Central Bank signaling that they might start cutting rates back in June. So all those insights are being read into the markets, and markets are responding positively to that.
Okay, I think moving on to Naswanje commodities, oil prices seemed to have climbed lomuhla emini after Saudi Arabia hiked June crude prices for most regions. Ingabe, what fears is this raising?
So what we are seeing, Saudi Arabia is one of the major oil producers in the market. So with that, we're seeing that if by news the regional price across quite a number of regions, that somehow signals we are not sure if OPEC is actually going to follow suit. But usually what Saudi Arabia does, OPEC will have to follow suit because one of the major producers of oil. So what we are seeing there and what we are expecting is, yes, we're going to see some increases in the price of oil, but that's something the markets can always factor in. And as we can see, the price of Brent crude oil is actually trading at 83.67. So markets were not really spooked that much by that, because the markets have actually priced out the issue of an escalation in the Gaza-Israel war. So we're not expecting to see that escalate much further. So yes, we're hoping, even though this will have impacts on supply chains, and it's going to also have impact on the aviation industry, which is still trying to get its feet back on the ground post-COVID, but we're not really projecting effects to be quite robust on the markets. But yes, markets will have to adjust to that, and supply chains might actually be disrupted, and we might also see Emma pump prices also rising in domestic markets. So my markets and the stocks are actually looking into that and seeing how it's going to affect the market in the long run. But with the cooling of the crisis in the Middle East, markets were not really surprised or taken aback by that. So we can see that in the price of the Brent crude, it's still right around the equilibrium that we're seeing for the most part of the year from January, right about the 80 mark, but we were hoping we're going to go back to the comfortable 70 mark, but still, we are failing to see markets returning to those levels.
All right, so, still on the markets in the European markets, Asian markets, perform and I saw that the US markets have rebounded. What are the causes?
So US markets have actually rebounded. I mean, if you remember, in the past couple of weeks, it was quite gloomy on Wall Street. But what we're seeing now, we're seeing the S&P 500 coming above the 5,000 mark. The Dow Jones, you are seeing them at the 38,000. That's where they've been, the equilibrium. So it's really trying to rebound to the highs that we've been seeing in the year. Same thing as the Nasdaq. But what we are seeing, what's pushing that is the jobs data that's coming out of the US. It's really it has sent a signal to the markets that the jobs are performing well, and we're not expecting the central bank to the federal bank to actually hike rates, but maybe keep them a bit higher for a bit longer. But what we are also seeing and what we are pricing into what is happening right now is markets have actually taken this in, even though we're going to see rates higher for longer, but the signals are showing that eventually this year we'll start seeing rates climbing down, Lulu. So that's why we are seeing this beautiful trend that's happening in Wall Street today.
Right. No, thank you so much, Ismail Kulu, Mr. Sbiya, for that analysis. I hope we've touched on all marketed for Johannesburg Stock Exchange, Eswatini Stock Exchange, kusinika nje lesisithombe ukuthi imarket performa kanjani lo mhla emini. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, Mr. Sbiya, and thank you to all of you kuba nathi lo mhla ehlelweni, the first episode this week of A Market View. Siliphetha lapho hlelo for namhla. Thank you so much for joining us. Siphinde sihlangane nani tomorrow same time at 2 p.m. Have a lovely day. Nisale kahle.